about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers. Kicker Dustin Hopkins set to get this one going. And we are underway in Southern California.
On the return, Boston Scott. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Sanders, first carry of the game. And some space here. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 74 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here is Eckler. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the give, this is Eckler. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2. On 4th down, Herbert. Flush to his right. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22.
They run on first down with Jackson. Big hole up the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll run with Jackson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. It's caught at the 1. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. A tight one. 8-7 our score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing is Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3, second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
He'll let this go for the end zone. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith.
32 yards. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
Hurts will throw.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Herbert now. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox.
And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it. And the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts.
They'll roll him out right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10.
They'll run with Sanders. Sanders has the first down and much more. And finally taken down at the 34.
101 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Sanders. And a short gain down to about the 33. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9.
Hurts. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. That's a tough blow there offensively. Had a decent drive going. You've got the lead, and now things completely flip on you.
Yeah, because they've been dominating on both sides of the ball. But after that mistake there, it's got to be tough for them to look up and realize we're trailing in this ball game. I thought we had complete control.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 2. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go play action with Hurts.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Sliding out of the pocket. It's Rodgers here with a grab. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Rager catches it left side.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles have retaken the lead. Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. And with him trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Eluding the pressure right.
And Herbert going to slide to a stop, and he has a first down.
Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will bring the deficit back down to 3.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive
as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He's going to try and go deep again.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone.
And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Charger drive about to get going.
And, Charles, they trail here, though not really the fault of this offense.
No, they certainly did their part in the first half. But when you're in a shootout like this, you definitely want your defense to play better, but you know that's out of your control. All you can do, keep putting points on the scoreboard and keep giving your defense opportunities to make stops.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris.
And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith.
His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Escaping the pressure right. Going back to Allen. He's got him again. And he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Flush to his right. Wide open. It's Allen, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Herbert operating from the red zone.
And that's into the hands of Eckler. And the Chargers are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Herbert back to the air. He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
After allowing that last score, the defense knows they've got to tighten things up. Otherwise, they'll let them right back into the game.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
He'll buy some time right. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Hurts. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 24, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Out of the gun, Herbert.
They'll find Williams on the slant.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 2nd and goal, Herbert.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far. A big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game. Exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true. It's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on the play of the game now, 4th and goal. They'll run for it with Eckler. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On first down, it's Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.